Hello YouTube, welcome back. It is week 6 of my garden tours and not a whole lot has changed from last week, but I've learned a lot and I'm really happy to share it with you. So as always, we are starting over here with the peas and beans and cucumbers. You'll be looking here with the black bean. See that? All sorts of blossoms are coming up. When it gets I'm gonna have black beans soon. I'm so excited for that. Literally, I can put black beans. Got this guy here. Smaller of my green beans. This one, I don't know. Snap. I want to say I'm mistaken. This one, some of them here. You can kind of see they're starting to flower up a bit. And my pickling cucumbers, just look at these beautiful things. See, it's getting so big and there are so many flowers on here. Ooh. Well, I don't know about that one, but it's doing really good. We'll see what's going on there. And then over here we have the pink snapdragons. Look how gorgeous those are getting. The basil is just taken off, and so is the regular garden sage. My jalapeno plant is just huge, and look at that. The marigold that I started from seed is about to bloom in the next couple days. This is the sweet mint that I harvested from the other 2 weeks ago, and it is coming back in nice and full. Now this one is both struggling and not struggling. It's like my sunflower seed, my sunflower plant. It's not doing so good, and this corn stalk, it hasn't grown. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me because I'm here every day and I haven't seen it growing. If you've seen that it's gotten bigger, let me know. This one, however, is huge, and it's got all of these guys in there. See that? That's really cool. This marigold's taken off, still doing really well. my fennel's finally shooting up a little bit. I think it's done being mad that I transplanted it forever ago. My cauliflower is doing okay. It's getting a little bit of bug damage, but I'm not seeing any bugs on it. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. And then over here, you see the carrots are doing pretty good. So we're gonna leave those. And then this tomato plant here is doing good. It's got some flowers on there. And once the flowers start, I'll actually be able to see what kind of tomato it is. And then I can check my seed packets and see if it's a determinate or indeterminate type. And that'll change pretty much what I need to do, like pruning wise with it. And then we've got over here, this is one of my flower pot, just plain decorative pots here. This impatient shocked pretty bad when I transplanted it, but it's coming back. It's got some new blooms and stuff in there. Same with this one. It transplanted a little roughly, but it's got new blooms on it. This guy's doing great. So is this one. And if you look in here, let's see if you can see it. Right in there is a new bloom of this. So they're gonna be taking off. Over here, see these strawberry plants are still growing. Got a few more new sprouts starting there. This one's doing good. Look how bright yellow those marigolds are. Aren't they precious? And then my alyssum over here is doing really good. These are wildflowers. I don't know what kind of flowers they are because they're not blooming yet. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. My impatiens in here. This one transplanted rough as well, but look at that, it's doing pretty good. And over here, see this guy? Look at this. This is my ghost pepper. And do you see that? It's gonna start flowering soon. My habanero, it has the little starts for it. But I think it's gonna be a minute before that one starts flowering. That's a wild Tibby getting all dirty and gross and covered in dirt and bugs. She's gonna need a bath, and that's gonna be a very fun experience for both of us. Over here, my violas are just exploding with color. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. It's just amazing. It's so pretty. This is one of my favorite pots. The tomato plant is coming in, doing really well. It's got a few little flowers there. And over here, more of my pink snapdragons have bounced back with my fuchsia. And that makes me so happy because this is going to be a really, really pretty pot soon. In here, earlier today, I had to go through and pick off just a bunch of those hornworm bugs because they have gotten, as you can see, they've gotten the lemon balm, they've gotten the basil, they got a little bit of the sweet mint. They're still doing okay. So I think I saved a little bit of it. Or I got them before they did too much damage. I've got my pink snapdragons in here that are taking off. And these ones too. My garden sage for the most part is doing pretty good. Hasn't had too much insect damage. It is variegated, but because it's in the sun so much, the variegation has kind of gone away, but I would rather it be doing really well than be variegated. The thyme is just, pretty soon it's just going to be cascading over the side there. Very excited for that. My little eggplant here is doing pretty good. I've got to water it tonight. And we cut back, well, I cut back a little bit of the dead bulbs and the dead blooms. last night, put it in here, and already got new ones coming up, so not too worried about this not filling out. Moved my little butterfly here over in here. Now this alyssum is just, it doesn't want to be alive, so it keeps dying. But my snapdragons, you see these ones? They're drying up a little bit, but look at this one. Such a pretty color. And then over here, see this? This is my big squash, zucchini squash. And I figured out that the reason these blooms are kind of shriveling up is because these are just the male ones. So once they release the pollen, they shrivel up after about a day or so. And that's that. They're not gonna do anything else. So I'm hoping these ones in here are female and that I can take some of the pollen from the males and just kind of hand pollinate that a bit. We'll see. I don't know. My cucumber is doing pretty good. I took the second stake out because it did not enjoy my plan to twine it around them. So I'm just kind of leaving it here. It's starting to bloom again, get little vinies. So we're just gonna leave that and hope that it takes care of itself. Oh, my sweet basil is doing really good. Pink snapdragon over here starting to bloom up again, which is gonna be nice because this guy has just, something has just eaten it down. So the marigold is not doing super great right now. Here's another one of my just flower pots. My geranium, my white geranium is taken off. It's got another bloom over there. This guy is another one of the red and green foliage. It's coming back. It kind of got a little beat up in the bag when I bought it, so it's been struggling, but it's coming back. And this guy here is doing really good. See down here, it's even more little new sprouts. There's this guy again. So you guys just kind of look over here. It's looking so good. And then of course this herb pot. Look at that. Just taking off. Taking off. Parsley's doing really good. It got knocked down a little bit by something. And the oregano is just huge. I don't need to harvest it again, so I'm just kind of letting it grow. And the lavender here is doing good. Again, I'm not harvesting it. I'm just letting it go. I'm trying to let them all bloom like this one to attract more pollinators so that I don't have to hand pollinate stuff as much. My rosemary is doing really good. So are the marigolds back here. So it's just, this one's doing really good. It's been really hot the past couple days, so I'm gonna have to come in and water tonight. This one here, kind of see the petals fell a little bit on this one, but they're coming back. This one's doing really good. That actually is not bug damage, that's damage from when it came out of the container it was in. Now this one's really fun because this leaf just folds up on itself, all by itself. But this is like my favorite color of those flowers. I can't wait for that to get a little bit bigger. And then that one back there is gonna take off here soon. Now this one is doing really well. Look at that. It's doing so good. And I can't wait for these to grow a little bit more because it's going to cascade beautifully off the side of this. And then my marjoram, it shocked a little bit when it was put in here, but it's doing pretty good. I don't need a whole lot of this one, so I don't need it to grow like super big. And then over here, now this one, I don't know if it's the pot or just I'm not doing something right, but this one seems to be struggling because I get all of these blossoms for tomatoes, but I actually don't have any tomatoes. These ones are not growing, so it's here. They're not growing. They're not getting any bigger. They're just stuck in there. So I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. I'm gonna do a little bit more research on that, trying to figure out what's going on, because it's by far my biggest tomato plant, and I should have had a tomato come off of this, but or at least be getting close to coming off of this by now. And my sunflower, it's doing a lot better than the other one, but the bottom leaves keep turning brown like this. So I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know, because this alyssum here is not growing either, and my eggplant, the bottom leaves are turning yellow. So I'm like worried if it's going to have, if there's like root rot, if it's not draining enough, maybe I don't have enough water in it. So I know tomatoes are thirsty plants, especially in containers, but I don't want to overwater it, and it doesn't, I don't know, right now the leaves are curling a bit, so maybe that's what it is. The Swiss chard hasn't really gotten any bigger. I mean, this one is a little bit bigger. It's not getting nommed on as much, so I'm hoping that it takes off. This marigold is still struggling, so I might actually, maybe next Friday, this coming Friday, go and buy a few more marigolds just to kind of keep the wasps away, because I do have wasps' nests and there are wasps in them on my balcony. So it's actually really, really hot out. I had to put my hair up because I was sweating so much, and my camera actually overheated, so I had to go and stick it in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes so that it would cool down enough for me to continue shooting. So I figured I would take this time and show you the wasps' nests. So I've got one there, got one there. That's the one I've actually seen wasps in. There's another little one over there, and then another one over there, and I think another one over in there. Now I haven't seen wasps in any of these except for that one. So I kind of, when I saw it, I was like, look, you guys can be up there, do your thing, have your home, just don't sting me or my cat, and we'll be cool. And so far, they've deemed me worthy to not sting. I'm hoping that continues. But as I was saying over here, I think I'm gonna get 1 or 2 more wasp repellent marigolds here. I think there's still a few left at the nursery. And then this is my eggplant. I love this plant so much. It does have a lot of like little green bugs on it, which I think are aphids. I don't know. If you haven't figured it out by now, I do not know bug names. But look, I don't know that. Look at this. Is that not the most beautiful flower? That's the eggplant flower. I've got a couple more of those, so I'm hoping that that guy is just goes to town and gives me a giant eggplant. I've never actually tried eggplants before, but I think I'm gonna like them because I like most squashes. And then I just hope this guy, my tomato plant, starts doing a little bit better. This one over here, however, this Roma tomato, look at how big it is. This guy, I think he got a little offended in my last video by saying he was too short, has just exploded up. I actually have a tiny little bit of rope holding him up so he doesn't fall over. And I moved this one up too, but look, we got a ton of blossoms there and more over here. And I'm just hoping that I get a ton of Roma tomatoes because I use them in pasta salads a lot. And then my pepper plant is doing beautiful. He was struggling for a while, but he is doing just gorgeous right now. The alyssum over here is doing really well. This one is, I think it's about to re-bloom. I've noticed it will bloom like this for a little bit, and then they die off, and then they re-bloom again, and they're like a slightly different color. But I'm pretty proud of that. It's definitely been a learning curve, figuring out how to get rid of all of these different insects and pests and how to properly care for everything. And then, oh, there's me in the reflection. But I've learned what flowers I really like, I learned what herbs I really like, and I'm going to take all of this and just use it next year, in my garden next year, to just have an even better garden. Because I love my garden. And look, haha, the apartment people tried to get rid of them, but I got some wildflowers coming through. But I love my garden, and it brings me a lot of joy, and honestly I think a lot of my frustration is just because I'm so impatient. I want fresh fruit from the garden, and I want it now. I don't want to wait, I want it now. So that's just where a lot of this kind of impatience is coming from. But I know it's going to be worth it in the end, because I love cooking, I love using fresh ingredients, I love growing things, I love the pride that comes from knowing that the food I'm putting on my table came from me, that I grew it myself. And I will definitely have a trellis next year for my peas and beans and cucumbers and squashes and all of that, because yeah, it'll save me space and it'll make it easier for me to keep it all together. But that is my tour this week. So like I said, not a lot has changed, but I've learned a lot, and I've got a lot of flowers that are blooming, bringing in more pollinators. I don't even mind the wasps, because I know that they pollinate a little bit, and I think the only thing I don't like is the spiders. There are so many spiders. They're getting in my house now, which is freaking me out. There's nothing worse than thinking it's your hair right here and looking over and it being a spider. It's just, don't like it. Not a fan. So if you have any tips on keeping the spider population controlled, because I know that they're helping with insect control and pest control and mosquitoes and all of that. So I don't want them completely gone, but I want them controlled. I want them to fear me so that they don't come into my home. Put a comment below, and as always, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next week.